Hello, Manchester. I'm Mayor Joyce Craig, and I ask for your vote on Tuesday, November 2nd. At the start of my second term as mayor, we encountered a global pandemic and addressed the challenges head-on. We took decisive action, developing guidelines, increasing access to city services, and providing free testing and vaccinations, all to ensure the health and safety of our community. And through it all, we continued to move Manchester forward. We prioritized public safety, made investments in affordable housing, returned our students safely to the classrooms, and fostered economic growth. We did this all while practicing sound fiscal management, getting through the pandemic with a $2.3 million city surplus. Thanks to the hard work of our police department, there's been a decrease in crime for the 5th year in a row. Over the past 3 years, we've added 30 police officers, increased annual officer training from 8 to 40 hours, and expanded foot patrols. We're implementing evidence-based violent crime reduction initiatives with community health workers, park rangers, and a team addressing quality of life issues in neighborhoods. And when it comes to affordable housing and homelessness, we've allocated nearly $8 million in federal funds to expand and renovate affordable housing, established a housing commission, and hired a director of homeless initiatives to lead efforts to reduce homelessness. And we're providing funding opportunities for seniors who need to make renovations so they can stay in their homes as they age. As a graduate of Manchester Public Schools and a mother of a student at Central High School, I know firsthand how difficult remote learning was. Our top priority is to have in-person learning throughout the school year. We know it's best when students are in the classroom, and our focus is on increasing student achievement. We've updated air filtration systems, adopted a new reading and math curriculum, increased teacher professional development, provided more technology, increased tutoring and support services, and we're reducing class sizes. Manchester is continuing to see strong economic growth. New businesses are opening, the airport added the first new airline in 17 years, and we're moving forward in bringing commuter rail downtown. We've seen over $360 million in new private development, including housing, hotels, and more. We're supporting our small businesses with more than $2 million in relief programs. And we've repaired 183 miles of roads and sidewalks and made historic investments to parks, rails, and green spaces throughout the city. Today, Manchester is a safer city than it was 4 years ago. Today, Manchester leads the fight in expanding affordable housing and reducing homelessness. Today, Manchester offers our students an excellent education and is a hub for innovation and economic growth. On November 2nd, I ask for your vote so we can continue to work together to build a stronger Manchester. Thank you.
I'm Victoria Sullivan. I'm a mom, a wife, and a former Assistant Majority Leader in the New Hampshire House of Representatives who served on the House Education Committee for 4 years. I'm running for mayor because I love Manchester both for what it was and the potential of what it could be. Like many of my fellow citizens, my family chose Manchester as our home, and we choose to stay here through the tough times, to fight to make it a better place. Like so many who love our city, I want to be a part of the solution. As a mother of 2 boys who are growing up in the city, I'm a mom fighting for a better education for all of our children. Under this mayor, our education achievement scores have fallen while our education spending has exponentially increased and our enrollment has decreased by over 1,000 students. Manchester should be leading in education, yet we are seeing families flee our schools. I have a track record of improving education for New Hampshire students and will bring that knowledge and experience to my role as mayor. As a blue-collar family, we understand what it means to have to live on a budget. Our family, like yours, was devastated to see our recent revaluation. I'm fighting for lower taxes for all Manchester families, and yes, I will protect the tax cap. I'm fighting for a stronger and more prosperous city that is welcoming to families and visitors and supports our small business community. 2 years ago when I ran, I warned that our city was at a crossroads. Unfortunately, we continued down a path that has proven detrimental to Manchester and to our residents. Our current mayor constantly blames the state for her failed leadership and the problems facing our city. The fact is, Governor Sununu has returned tens of millions of tax dollars to Manchester, specifically to help with addiction, mental health, and homelessness. This mayor's inability to work with the stakeholders, including the state, has led to an increase in our homelessness and has left our citizens, our workers, and would-be visitors feeling less safe on our streets. I speak to business owners every day that are frustrated by the apathy of this mayor, who are watching their livelihoods disappearing. I currently work on the state level with a variety of stakeholders. I have extensive experience working with state agencies and the legislature. I can bring people together to create lasting solutions that will not only benefit Manchester, but our entire state. One of these issues is the bail reform law that has added to the crime on our streets. This has not been a priority for our current mayor, but I promise you it is a priority of mine. I will not look the other way while our city is being impacted by this catch and release program that has been re-releasing violent criminals back onto our streets. I have spoken with Senator Jeb Bradley, who is filing a bill to address this situation. I have vowed to work with him to help get this important piece of legislation passed. Safe streets, neighborhoods, parks, and schools are my priority. Unlike the current mayor, I'm not a career politician. As your next mayor, I will face the challenges head-on and communicate with you regularly in regard to our progress as we face all of our obstacles. City Hall will be the government of the people with complete transparency between our citizens, our departments, and our government. Please visit our campaign website at victoriasullivanformayor.com to get more information about my experience, my plans for the issues facing Manchester, and to find out how you can be a part of this campaign to save our city and forge a brighter Manchester.
On November 2nd, the citizens of Manchester have the great privilege of voting in our local election. I'm June TRISCIANI, and I hope I'll get your vote as one of your next aldermen at large. I'm a fourth-generation Manchester resident, a former teacher, business leader, and a small business owner. I know this city, good and bad, and my main reason for running is to help Manchester achieve its full potential. One question I frequently get asked while talking to residents is, what does an alderman do? The easiest description is to say that the aldermen serve as a board of directors for the mayor. The aldermen are tasked with making decisions and crafting policies that support the essential services delivered to our local community. Additionally, the aldermen serve as a support network for residents tasked with addressing questions about services provided, policies set, or challenges faced within our community. The two aldermen at large positions were created in 1997 to augment the board with two members who would focus on items that cross ward lines. As alderman at large, I will focus on citywide concerns and work in conjunction with our state representatives to ensure that we are fighting for what is best for Manchester. We need to stop downshifting costs from the state level to the local level, which directly impact our property taxes. I've had difficult conversations with voters when meeting them at their doors. I welcome these conversations and tend to jump in head first with the goal of understanding everyone's concerns to achieve the best possible outcome. I will bring a level of respect, pragmatism, and collaboration to this critical role. As your alderman at large, I will continue to support the diversity that makes us who we are and work to tackle the citywide issues such as increasing affordable housing, advocating for our schools, addressing mental health challenges, fostering community involvement with transparency and awareness, and continuing to promote and maintain our vast historical, cultural, and natural resources. To learn more, please go to my website, juneformanchester.org. That's June, F-O-R, manchester.org, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions. It is important that everyone get out to vote, whether in person or by absentee ballot, to have your voice heard and make the changes we need around the table. It would be my privilege to serve you as your alderman at large, and I would appreciate your vote for me, June TRISCIANI, on November 2nd.
Hi, Manchester. My name is Dan GOONAN, and I am running to be one of your aldermen at large for the City of Manchester. I recently retired from the Manchester Fire Department after more than 36 years, the last 5 years as Chief and Emergency Management Director. Even though my time at the firehouse is over, service to the community is not something I can just turn off. During my time in leadership for the city, I managed a $20 million budget, moved my department out of its traditional role, and led the city through some of its most difficult situations, including the height of COVID. In my many years working with the city leadership from different administrations, what I learned is we need people of vision and action on the aldermanic board. Those individuals that have spent decades on the board are stagnant, while others are there only to criticize and not to act. It's time for a change. Instead of allowing politics to get in the way of fixing problems, I intend to bring political civility and common sense to the Board of Aldermen so we can spend our time working together for a better Manchester. We must face these problems together. There's so much more work to be done to help stem our drug and mental health epidemic, find a solution for those experiencing homelessness, grow our tax base, expand housing resources, and restore our faith in our government. I love Manchester. I was born here, went to school here. I spent my career serving this community, and I'm raising my family here. I'm deeply invested in our city and its success, and I know I can make a positive impact. Sitting back is not in my nature, and a disservice to the people I've sworn to protect over my career in public safety. As your Alderman at large, I will do what I've always done throughout my career. Put you, your family, and our city first. On Tuesday, November 2nd, I am asking you for your vote so that together we can make Manchester into the community we all know it can and should be.
Hello, my name is Joseph Kelly LeVasseur, your Alderman at Large candidate. I hope I have earned your vote to continue working for Manchester and its taxpayers. I am on the ballot in all 12 wards and respectfully ask for your vote. If you have any questions or concerns, please call me at 622-7575 or go to the city's website and send me an email. I would also respectfully ask that you vote for other fiscally conservative candidates that support taxpayers. We cannot afford politicians that continue to put taxpayers last, especially after this devastating revaluation. Did your alderman vote to override the tax cap? If that alderman promised to support the tax cap but then flipped, then please vote that person out of office and vote for the conservative running against them. If candidates refuse to publicly state they will support the tax cap, then you know they won't. It is crucial that on November 2nd that we all get out and vote like our city, state, and country mean something to us. Please vote for Victoria Sullivan for mayor, Will Infantine, and Joseph LaChance for school board at large. I'm happy to state we do have many rising stars running for office that do support our tax cap. Each one, and all of them combined, give me hope that Manchester's future can be brighter if elected. Sebastian Sharonov in Ward 6, Edward Sapienza in Ward 8, Bobby Kliski in Ward 9, Andre Roser in Ward 11, and Greg KRILL in Ward 3 are just a few that give me real hope for Manchester's future. If you want more information on these other candidates, please go to the Manchester City Republican website to see which conservatives are running in your ward. Dick Marston in Ward 12 as a replacement for the venerable Keith Hirschman is an absolute must. Keeping Jim Roy in Ward 4 is crucial to keeping taxes low. Ross Terrio is solid, and we need him to return to City Hall. Keep an eye open for information about the candidates Republicans in this city are supporting. You will be receiving information about your candidates and where they stand on the issues. Don't kick your flyers or information sources to the side. Read them and ask questions. Conservatives are in the fight for their lives, and your vote tells everyone what you think our city's future should look like. Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? 8 months ago? Of course, the question is rhetorical. Crime, homelessness, and graffiti are destroying Manchester's quality of life. As I have said for the past 22 years as your public servant, Democrats destroy everything they touch. Prove me wrong. Our schools are a mess, our citizens do not feel safe coming downtown, and our mayor hides under her desk, hoping it will all just go away. We have a complete boob for a president, and our future doesn't look so great. But that doesn't mean we just give up. This city and country is worth fighting for. Are you willing to fight for it? Your vote makes a difference. Don't be left out of the fight back to sanity. F Joe Biden and his crazy Democrats. Let's get this done. Please vote November 2nd. Thank you. Joseph Kelly LeVasseur, Alderman at Large.
Hello, my name is Jim O'Connell, and I am a candidate for school board member at large in the upcoming election. I had the honour and privilege of being elected by you, the people of Manchester, at the last elections, and I am asking for your support so that I can continue the work to make Manchester schools the pride of the city and the best schools in the state of New Hampshire. For too long, Manchester schools have been ignored by the politicians of this city. Too many have been more interested in getting re-elected than in doing what was best for our schools. Slowly but steadily, Manchester schools have failed to keep pace with the needs of our families and students. I have worked diligently to highlight the need for a new approach to our schools. I'm looking forward to working with others to deliver a new and vibrant future for the schools of our city. This includes a rethinking of our school facilities. The incoming board will have important decisions to make about the modernisation of those buildings. With your help, I hope to be the voice of the new Manchester at the table. I believe strongly in the future of our city. I refuse to oversee the slow decline of a great public school system and the acceptance of mediocrity. Make no mistake, Our schools are under attack from those who seek to undermine them and privatize them. I am committed to making Manchester schools the best schools in the state and the envy of surrounding towns. We have the students, the staff, the families, and the community to do it. All we lack is a bold vision and a deep determination to succeed. I bring that passion to City Hall every week. I challenge the administration to do better. I encourage the striving for excellence. I support my colleagues in being a data-driven body. I ask questions about why we're doing things this way. Is it effective? What are we doing to improve the education of our students in math, science, English, and social studies every day? I am committed to driving innovation and modernization in our schools. As we head back to school this fall, it is the hope of everyone involved that we will be able to continue in-person schooling all year. I am not an epidemiologist, nor am I a biologist. I make my decisions based on what is best for the students of our district. From the outset of the pandemic, my first concern has been the social and emotional well-being of our students, our staff, and our families. I will continue to make judgments based on science and on the best available advice from local and state medical and public health sources. I also am proud to say that I always answer people's calls. I'm always available to be contacted by email or phone, and I'm happy to talk to people whether they agree with me or not. I ask you for your continued support and to vote for me in the upcoming election so that the people of Manchester can have a voice of competence, reasonableness, and responsiveness who is committed to representing them every day. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Peter Argeropoulos, and I'm running for school board at large here in Manchester. I'm a lifelong resident of the city and a proud graduate of the Manchester Public Schools. I'm running for school board because I believe my experience as a teacher and enthusiasm for the community would be an asset to the city. I want to invest in our schools so that we can provide opportunities to our students and allow for them to reach their full potential. I aim to make sure that our school district is one that families are proud to be a part of. I also want to make sure that we are spending in all the right places so that we can make sure to maximize your tax dollars. A strong public school system acts as a strong foundation in any community. By investing in education, we are not only investing directly into the lives of our students, but also into the lives of every person in Manchester. After attending Jewett Street Elementary School, Southside Middle School, and Memorial High School, I continued my studies at the University of New Hampshire, where I earned my undergraduate degree in biology and then my Master's of Education. I spent a year at Central High School as a student teacher, and now I'm a full-time teacher in the city of Nashville. As an educator, there is nothing I enjoy more than working with my students and seeing their successes in the classroom. If elected to the Board of School Committee here in Manchester, I'll bring that same dedication and enthusiasm to this city. I'm extremely thankful to everyone who has supported the campaign so far. Since winning the primary election with the second most votes in the city, I've been back out on the campaign trail. I've continued to discuss how we can improve our education system with the voters of Manchester. Many of these discussions have centered around how we can make sure classrooms are equipped with the most up-to-date technology and materials that support learning. Supporting funding that allows for schools to provide the staff and resources needed so that students of all backgrounds and learning styles can receive the help they need. And aiding teachers in creating classrooms that are welcoming and enjoyable to all students, making them feel like they belong and are a valued member of the community. I believe these investments, among others, will help to improve the day-to-day experiences for the students in Manchester, and I will fight to make sure we can accomplish these goals. We are getting closer and closer to the election on November 2nd, and I'm going to do everything I can between now and then to earn your vote. If you would like to get connected with my campaign or to learn more about my plans, please visit my website, argeropoulosforschoolboard.org. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I look forward to seeing you soon. Please use one of your 2 votes for School Board at Large for Peter Argeropoulos. Thank you very much, and together we can make a real difference for the students and the community.
Hello, my name is Will Infantine, and I am a candidate for School Board at Large. I'm a resident of Ward 6 and have lived in the same home in the same neighborhood for 24 years. My wife and I have raised our 2 daughters in Manchester and both have attended Manchester Public Schools. They graduated from Central High and are now attending college. I believe that people have the duty to make their community better. I have done this by volunteering and running for political office. I have served on the board of the Visiting Nurses Association and the Manchester Boys and Girls Club. I have served on the Public Access TV Board and the Manchester Waterworks Commission. I've been elected to 8 terms as a New Hampshire State Representative, where I'm currently the chairman of the House Labor Committee. I was also elected to the last 2 charter commissions. I've always served in a professional manner, respecting all opinions even when I disagree with them. I've had many interactions with the Manchester public school system. Most were positive, but a few were very negative. I feel it's time for me to make a difference. I can use my business acumen and legislative experience to bring a different dynamic to the board. I'm running for school board position because I want to bring about change in the way Manchester educates their children and get better results for the money given to the schools annually. Spending continues to increase as student population decreases. Now many of the school board members want even more of your money to spend and want the ability to be a taxing authority. The voters soundly rejected this idea in the primary. Student testing scores have also continued to decline even with an increase in spending. This is unacceptable, but no one is being held accountable. The board and the administration need to take responsibility for these poor results. It's time to be accountable. It is time for a change in how Manchester educates their children. It's time for new ideas from people who are not educators and who will work with the administration and not against them. It's time to bring pride back to the Manchester school system. It's time for independent thinkers that are not beholden to any group. It's time to remove the distractions of critical race theory. Teach history and about racism. Don't teach children they are racist. I know my 2 daughters are not racist, and they're a product of Manchester schools. I trust their judgment over outside interests with untold motives. We need new people with new ideas. Many members of the current board have their campaigns funded by the unions and are influenced solely by them. I will not take any funding or support from any teachers or unions and will act in the best interest of the students and taxpayers. I will also refuse the health benefits worth in excess of $10,000 a year. This one-time student with a learning disability is asking for your vote on November 2nd. You have 2 votes for school board member at large. I ask for your vote and also that you cast your second vote for Joe LaChance. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Joseph LaChance, and I'm running for re-election to the Board of School Committee at large. I've been a lifelong resident of New Hampshire and have lived in Manchester for over 2 decades. I have 2 children. My oldest daughter graduated from Central High School, and my youngest daughter currently attends Central. I hold 2 graduate degrees, one in business education and the other in organizational leadership from Southern New Hampshire University. I am a U.S. Army veteran, proudly served with the 25th Infantry Division. I also retired as a manager with the United States Postal Service. I'm grateful to have been elected as a New Hampshire State Representative from Ward 1 for the 2015-2016 term and proudly served on the Ways and Means Committee. I believe in fiscal responsibility and would only support a budget that meets a tax cap requirement. The will of the people spoke about the tax cap, and we must adhere to that city charter. I believe in transparency, and you will get that from me if I am re-elected. What you see is what you get. I tell it like it is, and my track record proves this. There are so many other items needing attention like policy, curriculum, staffing, facilities, enrollment, test scores, conduct, standards, etc. that I can't cover during this time, but all I can say is without a solid vision and a fiscal plan by the board, we will continue on the same cycle Manchester has been in since I was a kid in the 1980s. We will continue to decline. Sadly, the numbers do not lie. Manchester, I am asking for your help. As the lone member of the board right now protecting the tax cap, I need more like-minded individuals on that board if re-elected. Will Infantine is running for one of the at-large school board positions and is a proven fiscal conservative. I urge you to consider voting for Will Infantine and myself, Joe LaChance, to represent you on the school board. We are your tax cap protection team. Please vote Joe LaChance and Will Infantine for school board at large in Manchester. Thank you.
Greetings, Manchester. Happy Columbus Day. I am Joseph Mottola, running for Alderman in Ward 1. In this election, you have ballot box choice. There's another name instead of an empty space. Before you could hold your nose or leave it blank, a third of you did in the last election. This year, you have choice. Joseph Mottola is not beholden to no one. My campaign is self-funded. The incumbent is paid an annual salary of $200,000 a year by the public sector unions. I am retired military and have all been all over the world. The Republic of the United States of America beats other countries I have visited hands down, and Manchester beats most of the United States. Thinking New Hampshire was a great place to retire, I moved here in 2011. I am a homeowner, and the taxes on my tiny two-bedroom house are $5,000. In Florida, that same house would be $2,000. I'm a graduate of Stockbridge School of Agriculture, UMass Amherst. Finishing school is the United States Navy. Advanced studies at Wikipedia. Why is Joseph Mottola running for office? I needed more aggravation in my life. In truth, a younger person who loves America and the Constitution should be running, but nobody does. In my old age, I have to fight to stay in my home by running for elective office. The real estate taxes keep creeping up due to growth in government and constant pay demands. If elected, my first order of business is change the downtown maximum parking time from 2 hours to 3 hours. This would facilitate more business downtown. Question is about the MSD, and I will say one thing about the school board. Parents have the right to confront and argue with the school board without fear of arrest for domestic violence, terrorist. My number one political position is the taxpayer has no duty to grow government. Contact me by snail mail at 453 Oak Street, Manchester. I could use more lawn sign locations. Don't forget to vote November 2nd and exercise ballot choice, which I've given you. We also need a new mayor. Joseph Mottola for Alderman Ward 1.
Hi, I'm Will Stewart. I'm running for Ward 2 Alderman because I want Manchester to be a place that people move to, not from. That's the reason I first ran for Alderman in 2017, and that reason remains as pressing now as it was then. During the past 4 years, progress has been made, both in Ward 2 and across the city, but many challenges remain. Here in Ward 2, my focus has been to improve the quality of life in our neighborhood. One big win has been the transformation of North Maple Street and North Beach Street from neighborhood highways to safer, slower, and quieter streets. I also obtained private funding from Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center to install 2 permanent speed indicator signs on Wellington Road and worked with the Department of Public Works to have a flashing stop sign installed at the high crash intersection of Salmon and Maple Streets. A focus on speed and traffic issues is just one example of how I listen to the residents of Ward 2 and work on their behalf. Another example is my continued opposition to an ill-conceived gas station planned near the intersection of Edward J. Roy Drive and Wellington Road, as well as my continued leadership to oppose the illegally operating for-profit sober living businesses that have popped up in Ward 2 and across the city, preying on a very vulnerable population while offering no clinical program of any kind with zero oversight or regulation. During the past 2 years, I've taken part in 3 neighborhood meetings, assisted with more than 150 constituent requests, and published a monthly email newsletter to keep residents informed of issues in Ward 2 and across the city. As part of the pandemic response, I organized a Ward 2 COVID-19 volunteer registry and collected more than 700 holiday cards from Ward 2 residents for our nursing home neighbors. Looking at the city as a whole, I have voted each of the past 2 years to increase funding for Manchester School District, which remains the lowest funded school district in the state on a per-pupil basis. To help address the city's housing challenges, I also successfully sponsored a proposal to make it easier for single-family homeowners to create accessory dwelling units, aka in-law apartments, on their properties. With a super low rental vacancy rate and a red-hot residential real estate market, Manchester is clearly a place that people want to be. But like all urban areas, even small ones, we continue to have our challenges. But if I've learned anything from studying the city's history, it's that Manchester is resilient, adaptable, and capable of rising to meet whatever challenges we face. Manchester is the hometown I chose. I moved here 17 years ago when I took a job as a reporter at Hippo Press, and I continue to choose Manchester every day. I've long since moved on from the Hippo, having worked subsequently as a community organizer, an economic development professional, and currently as the executive director of Stay Work Play New Hampshire. These are all jobs where I've been able to give back in one way or another to this great city and state we all call home. Manchester, and Ward 2 in particular, is where I chose to put down roots. It's where I bought my home, and it's where I'm raising and educating my son, a student at Smith Road School. I have a lot of skin in the game with regard to how Manchester fares in the coming years. For me, it's very real and it's very personal. So if you too think Manchester can be doing more to reach its potential, I humbly ask for your help because I can't do it alone. If you live in Ward 2, I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd at Hillside Middle School. If you don't live in Ward 2 but know people who do, please reach out to them. Thank you for your time and your attention. To learn more, please visit electwillstewart.com. Thank you.
Hey, how's it going? My name is KRILL, and I'm a candidate for Ward 3 Alderman. I made a choice to live here in Manchester, and I'm invested in the continuous improvement of this city. I want Manchester to be a place where everyone can prosper and thrive. Whether you're a student, you're raising a family, you're turning wrenches, you're waiting on tables, you're flipping burgers, writing code, or practicing law. A little bit about me. I'm a Marine Corps veteran who was deployed to Iraq. I have business experience and have worked in the Boston area as an EMT. Right now, I'm an electrician because I love the construction business and the teamwork it requires. I want to bring my life experience to City Hall with common sense and a renewed sense of urgency to address issues in Ward 3, like public safety and economic development. Ward 3, it's the heart of the city. But if we can't have clean streets and good order in Ward 3, then the economic environment in Manchester will regress. And with economic regression comes problems because there's going to be a lack of opportunity. And right now is a time when everybody needs opportunity. That being said, if we can ensure clean streets and good order and good public safety in Ward 3, Manchester can continue to develop economically, and this city can reach its full potential, which in my opinion is significant. We got a good city here, and there's a lot of good things going on, but we can make it better, and we need to make it a whole lot better. With that in mind, I humbly ask for your vote, and it would be my honor to represent you in Ward 3 in City Hall. If you want to learn more about me, please go to my website, gregkrill.com, GREGKRILL.com. Thank you, have a good day, and don't forget to vote on November 2nd.
Hi, I'm Pat Long, your current alderman and candidate for alderman in Ward 3. Thank you for the opportunity you have given me. I take seriously your public trust. I hope this communication finds you well. One of the most important attributes of serving as your alderman is my ability to work respectfully with the mayor and the 13 other aldermen. My ability in persuading them is contingent upon my understanding of their positions. These last 2 years, Ward 3 has continued in adding value to Manchester. We've seen a continued interest in both commercial and residential development. We've seen an increase in residents moving into the area, and more importantly, sustainable retail, something I've always been working towards. With this growth, the ward is also experiencing struggles which needs the due diligence of continued resolutions, primarily homelessness. Manchester has a homeless director who started 6 months ago and has been doing outstanding work in addressing lasting resolutions on the reduction of those that insist on disrupting the quality of life in our neighborhoods. I realize this is not as quickly taken care of as we would like, and I ask for your understanding and vigilance in helping with these initiatives. As your alderman, I will continue to bring solutions to the board in addressing quality of life enhancements. All too often I hear blame put on reasons for our shortcomings. As an elected official, the blame begins and ends with me. It's not within me to place blame, it's my responsibility to bring solutions. Most importantly, I will continue to be a strong voice for all the residents of Ward 3, whether it's our current lack of housing or someone needs services to get them through these difficult times. I'm committed in ensuring our city departments are given the tools necessary to continue to address the concerns of the city. I will continue my commitment to our elders in ensuring them safe and mobile access to all Manchester has to offer. I strongly believe that everyone within our community needs to be listened to. When that happens, our community becomes stronger with an increase to everyone's quality of life. I stand committed to working with you in elevating the quality of life for all of the residents in Ward 3. As your alderman, it is essential to create an atmosphere of continued dialogue with all residents in Ward 3. I guarantee if re-elected, communications will continue to be a priority. In closing, I thank you again for this opportunity and ask for your vote on November 2nd, when every vote will matter. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about me, and I hope to see you at the polls. You may also contact me at 603-668-1037 or by email at long55@comcast.net. I'll see you at the polls, which is located at the Rhine Center, 1528 Elm Street, across from Pappy's Pizza.
Hello, my name is Christine Fajardo, and I'm running for alderman in Ward 4. The last time you heard me here on Channel 22, I was one of 4 candidates vying for this position, asking for your support in the primary back in September. Well, I'm excited to share that I was successful in that bid, and I'm now just one of 2 candidates on the ballot in the general election this November 2nd. I'd like to start by giving a big shout out to all the residents in Ward 4 who came out and cast a vote in my favor. Your overwhelming turnout put me just 1 vote behind the incumbent. Proof that Ward 4 is seeking change and that you're confident in my ability to get the job done. I'm truly humbled, and I want to say thank you. Okay, on to my qualifications. First and foremost, I'm deeply invested in helping Manchester reach its full potential. As a resident by choice, I pay close attention to local decision-making and politics, and I care about the city and our ward. I've gained perspective and experience by volunteering with multiple organizations in the city, advocating in Concord for issues that affect Manchester, including affordable housing, and serving as a ballot inspector in Ward 4. And while this may be my first time as a candidate for elected office, what I lack in formal political experience will actually give me an advantage at City Hall. I'll bring new energy and a fresh perspective, and I won't cling to old ways of doing things. I'll also draw heavily on over 20 years of professional experience in the private sector, working as a creative problem solver, including for 2 different Fortune 500 corporations, where I work as a systems designer focused on simplifying complex business processes in order to make them more user-friendly. In my day job, I'm responsible for delivering work on time and on budget, and I am no stranger to deadlines, multitasking, and working in large collaborative and sometimes combative teams. I'm a natural leader with a track record of stepping up in situations where building consensus is key to moving forward. Those who know me best and have seen me in action describe me as a unifying force, somebody who is relatable, with a knack for putting people at ease and building trust. When things get heated, you can rely on me to be a calming force who works to lower the temperature so that we can focus on finding solutions to problems. My role as alderman will be to amplify the voices of Ward 4 constituents and build common ground with my fellow board members in order to drive progress for Manchester. My ultimate goal is to make our government more user-friendly, and I will work hard to solve real day-to-day problems for residents and to make things better in our city. You can learn more about me on my website, christineforalderman.com. That's Christine, the number 4, alderman.com. My contact information is listed there, and I welcome you to reach out to me directly anytime to share your experience and your perspective. Thank you for considering me, and I encourage you to trust me with your vote on November 2nd. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jim Roy, and I'm your alderman in Ward 4. First, I'd like to thank MCTV for this opportunity to address you, the taxpayers of Ward 4. I also want to thank you, the residents of our ward, for the privilege I've been given for the last 2 years to represent you as your alderman. I'm here to ask for your support again. For the past 2 years, I've been your independent voice at City Hall, only being told how to vote on the issues by you, the taxpayers of Ward 4, not by any special interest groups. During my time representing you, I've worked with people on both sides of the aisle on the important issues facing the city of Manchester. Going forward, I believe the most important issue we will face is addressing mental health, which I believe is the underlying cause of not only the homelessness situation in the city, but also the opioid crisis in the city. As your alderman, keeping taxes reasonable while maintaining services at current levels will be paramount to me. Customer service is extremely important to me. As in the past, I will return every call and work on your issue to help you to arrive at a satisfactory solution. If you want an independent thinker that will give you, the taxpayer of Ward 4, an independent voice at City Hall, again, I ask for your vote on November 2nd. Thank you for your support, both present and past. We'll see you at the polls.
Hello. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Tony Sapienza. Many of you know me because I've lived in the same Manchester neighborhood my whole life, and I have had the privilege of representing my neighbors as the alderman from Ward 5 for the last 6 years. Today, I am asking for your support in the upcoming election. I sincerely hope you will decide that I have earned your continued support and vote. Working as an alderman is all about serving the citizens of Ward 5 and the rest of the city. I evaluate every issue on how it will affect the people of Ward 5 and the rest of the city, regardless of the politics involved. I have not and will not accept any political contributions. I only represent the people of Ward 5. I do not believe politics belongs in city government, and I work with everyone. Basic city services like clean streets, safe neighborhoods, good schools, trash pickup, police and fire service are not political issues, but they are real issues affecting our community. These issues deserve the best efforts of your representatives, and we must work together regardless of political parties. The city has and will continue to have many challenges. It also has many people working very hard to meet those challenges. The latest challenge that has popped up across the city is so-called sober homes being set up by unscrupulous landlords. These facilities are nothing more than illegal businesses operating as rooming houses set up in residential neighborhoods. The city is working hard to shut these facilities down. Unfortunately, the legal process is slow, but it is moving forward, and the Board of Aldermen has implemented some new ordinances to strengthen the city's position. I will continue to advocate for removing these illegal businesses from our residential neighborhoods. The city will be receiving well over $40 million for the Federal American Rescue Plan. As a representative of Ward 5, I will be working hard to make sure Ward 5 gets its fair share of that money. The streets and alleyways are a great place to start implementing improvements. My experience with the budgeting process and the community improvement process will help me make sure projects in Ward 5 get funded. Budgeting and taxes are always a concern. I have worked hard to find sources of revenue other than increasing property taxes. Large new construction projects are bringing more revenue and jobs to the city. You can see the construction around the city. People are investing here because it's a great city to live in. Funding has always been a challenge, but now we are facing a new challenge of finding enough employees for the city. I encourage anyone looking for a job or a better job to look at the many employment opportunities available with our city departments. Thank you for the support you have already given me. Once again, I am asking for your support and your vote in the upcoming election on November 2nd. Thank you. From your Alderman, Tony Sapienza.
Hello, Ward 6. My name is Sebastian SHARONOV. I'm your alderman, and I'm running for re-election to a full term. First, I'd like to thank you for putting your trust in me and electing me as your alderman in a special election this May. At the time I was running, I promised you one thing, that your voice will be heard loud and clear down there at the City Hall. And I delivered on that promise. I blocked the tax cap override during the budget season in June. I authored and passed a policy revamping the requirements for special elections. I voted against a confusing proposal to make the school district its own taxing authority, and I voted to give Manchester residents much-needed property tax relief, especially in the light of the 2021 revaluation. On top of this, constituent service has been one of my top priorities. Every single phone call has been answered, every email has been responded to, every request fulfilled. Be it to install a new road sign, to report a pothole, to trim down overbrush, to give an update on sewer construction, everything. As a populist, I'm committed to working each and every day for the best interests of you, the resident of Ward 6, and not any special interests. I want to continue making Manchester a better city to live in. I will always protect the tax cap and will not vote for a budget that calls for a spending override. I stand with and fight for hardworking people just like you and me. Please visit my website at www.sebastiansharonov.com. That is my first and last name.com. There you will find my bio, education and military background, as well as more details about my platform. If you would like a yard sign, you will be able to request one there too. I can also be reached on my Facebook page, Alderman Sebastian SHARONOV, or you can call or text my phone number, which is 603-932-0010. I hope I can earn your vote on November 2nd. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the polls.
Thank you for watching today, and thanks to MPTV for hosting me. My name is Mary Sullivan Heath, and I am running for alderman in Ward 7. I am married with 2 children and 5 grandchildren, and that's mostly why I'm running. I want a better Manchester for them. First elected to the New Hampshire House of Representatives in 2013 in a special election in Hillsborough County, I'm currently serving my 5th term with 95% attendance at all meetings. I'm currently serving on House Finance Division 2, which includes adequacy funding for public schools. My work experiences include serving as the Dean of the School of Education at Southern New Hampshire University, Deputy Commissioner for the New Hampshire Department of Education, Assistant Superintendent for SAU 19, 26 years in Manchester as an elementary school teacher, learning disability specialist at Manchester Memorial High School, and federal program manager coordinating millions of dollars for the school district. I am a lifelong resident of Manchester. As a retired educator, I recognize the need for an informed workforce, and I'm committed to small businesses, will fight for a balanced budget that supports all the city residents, and I will always stand for Manchester workers, support equitable educational experiences for all Manchester's children and families, a clean and healthy environment, and access to necessary services for people in need. So why am I running for alderman? I believe the sum of my work experiences, community involvement, and serving as a state representative since 2013 give me a balance of experiences that will contribute to the city. The primary reason that I seek the position of alderman is because I care about Manchester's future and its residents. For example, Manchester needs more affordable housing. The cost of housing in Manchester is high and particularly difficult for young people looking for their first home or apartment, and the elderly who are also looking for places that are smaller and more affordable. COVID has further complicated the housing dilemma. What is the solution? Working together with state and local officials will prompt results that need the support of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I want to be part of that conversation. Quality life and safety in Manchester offers residents good living, safe streets, low poverty, excellent health care, and a variety of educational choices. And New Hampshire consistently ranks as one of the safest states with the lowest homicide rate in the country. I want to assure that continues. In conclusion, I ask for your vote in Ward 7 on November 2nd, and I promise I will work tirelessly for you. Thank you. My contact information is Mary Sullivan Heath, 76 Allen Pond Road, Manchester, New Hampshire. My telephone number is 603-622-0895, and my email m.heath@comcast.net. And thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ross Terrio, and I'm the alderman for Ward 7. I'm asking for your vote when you go to the polls at St. Anthony's on Tuesday, November 2nd. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I work as a hospital pharmacist. I'm married to my wife, Classia, and we have 3 children, Jordana, Alexandra, and Anthony, who all attended Manchester schools, and we have lived in Ward 7 for 20 years. I support the tax cap. I think it should only be overridden for emergencies. Previously, the tax cap was being overridden almost every year. Since I have been your alderman, I have voted against overriding the tax cap. Manchester needs to learn to live within its means, just as you and I live within our means. I will consider revenue overrides. Those are revenues not raised from real estate taxes for things that are important to the people of Ward 7 and our city. I am also running for re-election because I want to continue to deal with the things hurting our quality of life, especially the drug epidemic, homelessness, and crime. The 2 most important jobs of an alderman are constituent services, which is helping residents deal with city government and creating a budget which directly affects how much you pay in real estate taxes. My experience is well suited for re-election and includes being your current alderman, your former school board member, and previously serving as a state rep for Ward 7. While serving in all those capacities, I have always listened to and represented all the people of Ward 7. I pride myself on constituent services. I always work hard to answer phone calls and emails and answer people's questions when they need help with something. I have a proven record of working with other elected officials to solve our problems. I may not always be able to provide the answer that people want to hear, but I try my best to help the people of Ward 7 and their families. For more information, you can call me at 820-9064, Find me on Facebook at Ross Terrio, Alderman, Ward 7, Manchester, or check out my website at rossterrio.com. Again, my name is Ross Terrio. I'm asking for your vote at the polls on Tuesday, November 2nd. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
Hey folks, Ed Sapienza here, your Ward 8 Alderman. Hey, I enjoy serving and representing the people of Ward 8 as your Alderman and ensuring that the bureaucracy is fair to people. As your sitting Alderman, I do have a voting record. However brief it may be, it does show that I consistently vote conservatively. If I'm fortunate enough to be re-elected on Tuesday, November 2nd, I will continue to do so. My phone number is 391-8038. That's 391-8038. Call me anytime. Shortly here, I think October 24th, you're going to have to dial the 603 prefix. So that's about all for now. May God bless Ward 8 of the City of Manchester, and may God bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Barbara Shaw, Alderman for Ward 9, running for re-election. Serving the people of my ward and the city for 12 years, I have gained much experience in the operation of city government, committee work, tackling issues dealing with emergencies, making tough decisions with money and budget, the homeless, housing, senior housing, and so much more. But most important to me has been and is working with my constituents, solving issues and problems they encounter, and finding answers to their questions. This is the most rewarding part of this position, but it demands commitment and experience. During the election season, many candidates promise to do this and do not do that. However, I believe it is far more important to promise to work hard and make decisions in the best interest of all people of the ward and city, regardless of party or whether they even vote. All elected officials should recognize this fact. As your alderman, I will continue my efforts to maintain taxes as stable as possible, ensure safety in our neighborhoods, tackle the homeless issue, and continue quality city services, including our schools. Progress is steadily being made, but much more work needs to be done regarding homelessness, roads, housing, taxes, and safety. I'm ready to continue to work on these challenges to change the course of our city where needed. I've lived here all my life, and I love my city. All big cities have issues, but a cooperative initiative by the right leaders can repair the wrongs and stabilize the rights. Through my serving years, I have believed this policy to be true and effective. I honestly feel I am one of those leaders and strive to make a difference. Every vote counts in every election, so please make an effort to cast yours. I ask for your vote on November 2nd, Barbara Shaw for Alderman, Ward 9, so I may continue to be your voice. Thank you for your continued support, and see you at the polls.
Hello, my name is Bill Berry, and I'm running for Alderman in Ward 10. I'm married to my wife Debbie, and our daughter Lauren is a sophomore at Bryant University. I am a lifelong resident of Manchester. I graduated from Central High School, Daniel Webster College, and in the New Hampshire Police Academy. I worked in law enforcement for over 34 years, 26 with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and 8.5 years with the Auburn Police Department. Public safety is one of my biggest priorities as an alderman. Since taking office in 2014, I have voted continuously to add more police officers to patrol our streets to keep our residents and property safe and protected. We have added over 60 more officers since 2014. I pride myself on constituent service, answering hundreds of calls and emails every year. I have also worked very hard to make sure our streets are safe. We have had over 60 streets reconstructed and paved in Ward 10, Milford and Donald Streets being the most recent. I will continue this effort when I am elected in November. I will continue to properly fund our schools. It is so important that our children receive the best education possible. I have volunteered in our community for over 40 years, coaching youth sports, volunteering for youth groups such as Special Olympics, Boys and Girls Clubs, Challenger League, Salvation Army, and many more. I am also the past president of the Webster House, Central Crew, and the Hillsborough County Law Enforcement Association. I am currently on the board of the Cashin Senior Center. I am proud to be endorsed by the Manchester Police Patrolmen and Supervisors, Manchester Professional Firefighters, Manchester Education Association, and AFSCME, which oversees our public works employees. I am hoping that I will have your support on Tuesday, November 2nd. I want to thank Manchester Public Television for giving me the opportunity to address our city. Thank you, and stay safe.
Hello. As most of you know at this point, I'm Erin Kelly, and I'm running for alderman for Ward 12. Thank you for coming out for the primary. I am humbled by my win, and I'm so grateful for your support. I grew up in a working class family in Rhode Island, and one of the values that my parents instilled in me from a very young age is that every person I cross paths with is someone that I can learn from. My experiences on the campaign trail have reinforced that value for me. I have already learned so much from the residents of Ward 12, and I am determined to bring your voice to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I love our neighborhood and the people of Ward 12. We have history and deep roots, starting with the Abenaki, Pennacook, and Wabanaki Indigenous people, and then the French-Canadian families drawn to Manchester by the mills, many still living here generations later. Today, people have joined our community from the Congo, Bhutan, Burma, Iraq, Somalia, and many states throughout the U.S. There are young adults, families, and new Americans who are just establishing Manchester as home in one of our apartment complexes. We have first-time homeowners settling in our new housing developments. There are seniors who have chosen Manchester as their home for their best years in one of our retirement communities. We have many families living in houses that have been passed down from one generation to the next, and families who have purchased their dream home on the Merrimack River. In this city, we are too often separated by wealth, skin color, language, education, gender, sexuality, and so much more. We see each other passing on the street, but we do not know each other. As an alderman, I promise to get to know you, and I promise to work tirelessly to dismantle what separates us. It is my goal for the residents of Ward 12 to be a community, one that recognizes more of what brings us together than the things that divide us. A community that honors each other's differences and values what we can learn from one another. A community that can feel like home for all of us. On November 2nd, I will be at Northwest Elementary School, and as you come out to cast your vote, please come introduce yourself to me. I would love to meet you and begin to get to know you. Thank you, and I look forward to serving as your alderman.
Hi, folks. I'm Dick Marston. I'm a state representative. I'm a Republican, and I'm a conservative Republican. But I'm here today to ask you for your vote in Ward 12. I'm running for alderman. Keith Hirschman has retired and was a great Republican on the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and we need to replace him with another great Republican, and I think that's me. Born in Manchester, I actually always lived here. Born in Goffstown, technically, old hospital called Moore Center, no longer in existence. But I've lived in Manchester all my life, except for my military time when I was in the Navy. I've lived now in Ward 12 for better than 25 years. I've run several times. I'm a third-term state rep. I've been a moderator in the ward. I've been a selectman, so People know me. And I think I can do a good job on the Board of Aldermen. I've been a Little League manager and coach, and I've also been a president of West and West Side Little League. So a lot of people on the West Side know me. I value your dollars. I value that we have to have a balanced budget. I'm not for breaking the tax cap. That may bother some people, but I think we do need to do more for the schools. The schools need a little more emphasis, and I can find ways that we can do that, or hopefully we will. So with all of that, I'm going to make it short and sweet. I really need your vote on November 2nd at Northwest Elementary School. I could be there. Sometimes, you know, you have to take a break and go get lunch, but I hope to see as many voters as I can. So with all of that, I thank you for your time. I hope you will take the time to give me your vote either in an absentee ballot or at the polls. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and God bless.
Hello, my name is Sean Parr, and I'm running for School Board, Ward 2. I'm running because I believe education is the cornerstone of our society, because I believe in the liberating power of knowledge and educational equity, because I want to work for all of our students and teachers to make our public schools stronger. When my son was in 2nd grade and my daughter in kindergarten at Smith Road School, we were told at a PTO meeting that the school's annual supplies budget was so small it would barely last a couple months, if that. So I started bringing in supplies and volunteered 1 day per week at the school. After more conversations with teachers and parents, I learned that Manchester schools have been doing more with less for far too long. In fact, Manchester currently spends less per student than anywhere else in the state. That reality hurts our students and negatively affects the reputation of our schools. I want our schools to be a reason for people to move to Manchester, not from. It's time for a bold vision for our district's future. As a proud product of public schools and a volunteer and PTO secretary at Smith Road School, I'm inspired by our students and teachers. I will work tirelessly for them and for all of Manchester students because our children deserve the best education possible, and I think we can work together to make this happen. Having visited the schools and spoken with the principals that serve students in Ward 2, I know how much our teachers and staff do for our students. And they need a board who will work for them to solve urgent problems. They also need a board to courageously support a vision for what our schools can become. I promise to continue these important conversations when I'm elected to the board. We need a board that works with and for our educators, a board that invests in them and our students, a board with the determination and persistence to get things done. As a tenured college professor, I'm committed to academic excellence, and I have experience with curriculum, assessment, accreditation, and shared governance. I also have flexibility in my schedule and a can-do attitude that will allow me to be a relentless advocate for our students and teachers. I'm also proud to be endorsed by the Manchester Education Association and by New Hampshire's AFL-CIO. It's a pivotal moment for Manchester schools with substantial incoming funds from the federal government, changing enrollments, and exciting ideas on the table, such as dual language immersion schools, new facilities, and pre-K access for all Manchester families. It's time for Manchester School Board to think ahead and set the tone for the rest of New Hampshire. That's why we need board members who have the initiative and tenacity to get things done, and that's why I'm running for the school board. I'm ready to do the work, and I hope I can count on your support. Please vote on November 2nd at Hillside Middle School.
My name is Karen Soul, and I'm running for re-election for the Board of School Committee in Ward 3 because I believe that I have the background, expertise, and time to continue to be a productive member of the Manchester Board of School Committee. The mission of the Manchester School District is excellence and equity, every classroom, every day, and our promise is every student in Manchester is known by name, served by strength and need, and graduates ready for college, career, and community. The COVID pandemic has been one of the most challenging times in recent history for all of us. Our educational system and our families have truly been put to the test. As a result of these challenges, not all of our students have progressed as much as they would have with in-person learning. This has created learning gaps, or as Dr. Goldhart would say, unfinished learning. As our schools welcome back our students with open arms, we must assure that our students and their families feel a sense of belonging as we reestablish positive relationships, accepting students where they are. We need to continue to realize the importance of listening to families, their needs, and their desires for their children. We must create a variety of educational opportunities for all students, realizing that equitable access is not one size fits all, and it is our responsibility to assure that every student graduates ready for college, career, and community. Our focus should be on learning what the recent pandemic has taught us as we move forward. It is crucial that we use multiple data sources to drive our decisions. Not only will this improve student achievement, it will also assist the board in determining how best to allocate our funds to maximize our resources. As a school board member, I will support the use of data through our policies and procedures. We cannot do this alone. Pardon the cliche, but it truly does take a whole village to educate our students. We must build on our current community partners, create new partnerships, while making sure that we communicate and coordinate the partnerships with our schools and our families. It is the role of the Board of School Committee to work together, setting policies and developing procedures that support the mission of the Manchester School District, to assure that each and every student in our schools has the equal opportunity to achieve their highest aspirations. The board also has to be sure that we are maintaining our facilities through deferred and preventative maintenance. I'm so looking forward to hearing from the citizens their thoughts about the recent completed facility study. It is our role to continue to highlight the positive successes of our schools, celebrating our diversity and our schools, because the Manchester schools are accomplishing great things. We should be proud of them. The key to success is education. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Thank you for your consideration, and please be sure to vote on Tuesday, November 2nd.
Hi, my name is Mark Flanders, and I'm running for School Board Ward 4. I'm a lifelong resident of the city and lived in the ward for 40 years. I'm married, have 2 children in college, and they graduated from Central. I'm running because I want to give back to the community and provide better service to the students and taxpayers. We can do more for our students through proper funding, change, to improve the quality of their education and provide more opportunity. I recently retired as a manager and investigator for a Fortune 500 company. As a parent, along with my work and life experience, I will bring a different skill set to the office. I support the tax cap. I'm for school choice, both public and private. I won't take the health insurance benefits, and I have never been employed by or associated with any city department or union. Consider your new property tax revaluation and the proposed ballot question giving the school district tax authority. Residential property taxes are going up and commercial property taxes are going down. How is that fair? As taxpayers, we must demand that our tax bills be sent out before the election. Otherwise, there's no transparency. Consider the amount of the city and school budgets, including the state and federal rescue plan money. Most of it went to salaries, new positions, new programs, leaving minimal for students. Consider the current state of the city, the schools, and their proficiency test scores. We're not getting good value for our tax dollars, and our students are being undereducated. I believe we can do better. We must address the politics in the city. Consider the money and the PAC money available to some of these candidates. Our current education system isn't working. We're not providing a quality, equal education for our students. We can achieve this through proper funding and school choice. I support the Manchester School District. My children received a wonderful education there. But times have changed, and we have to adapt. Bedford High School has an international baccalaureate program. Why can't we? We must refocus back on our students, providing the education they need, putting them on an equal footing for the demands of the 21st century. If elected, I will be accessible, independent, advocating for all students to improve the quality of their education. We can improve education by change and promoting school choice. Examples of public magnet school choices are the arts, STEM, vocational, college prep, and IB. This will provide better education and more opportunity for all students. School funding can be increased by expanding the public and private sector partnerships. Businesses and some nonprofits need to step up and do more financially. Lastly, we will review the school's accounting system to eliminate waste, duplication, and create efficiencies, providing more funding. If you're happy with the schools, feel they're functioning to the potential, and we can't do better, then vote for my opponent. If not, please vote for me on November 2nd. Thank you. I can be reached by phone, 603-641-9744, email markjflanders@comcast.net. Please vote. This election is so important. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leslie Wan, and I'm running for re-election as your Ward 4 School Board Representative. When I ran for re-election last term, no one could have predicted the disruption we would face as a nation responding to the COVID crisis. As a school board, we had to integrate information from the Manchester Health Department, the Department of Education, and guidance from the CDC to find the best way forward, and the decisions were difficult. This last 2 years have been about managing unforeseen and constantly changing circumstances that were frustrating to all of us. However, I'm incredibly proud of the hard work and patience of the board, our staff, our students, and their families that ultimately kept our communities safe. Part of an education is learning how to overcome life's obstacles and find a pathway to success. And in that regard, I think the past 2 years have taught us a lot. Even when COVID disrupted normal life and school for so many, the board was able to make significant progress for our students. For instance, as vice chair of the board, I facilitated the removal of a policy requiring high school students pay $8.50 a week to ride the bus. Now all students can ride the bus for free regardless of their grade level, eliminating an obstacle to getting to school. Our Board of School Committee was named the 2020 New Hampshire School Board of the Year, about which our superintendent, Dr. John Goldhart, said, quote, "Through detours and closures, the board has been focused on meeting student need now and into the future. This award is recognition of that focus and a sign that they are on the right path," end of quote. Evidence of that focus can be seen in the implementation of new citywide K-8 reading and math curriculums with a strong emphasis on training our teachers and staff on how to implement them effectively. All of this will help improve student outcomes and provide an excellent and equitable education for every student in every classroom every day. Now that we are back to in-person learning in our schools, we must turn our full attention to helping our students catch up and recover from 19 months of incomplete learning. Many of our students have fallen behind both academically and socially. Fortunately, Manchester has been given resources by the federal government to help our students recover, so it's time for an all-hands-on-deck approach. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have a positive impact in the lives of our children here in Manchester, and I'm ready to meet these challenges. I want to thank the people of Ward 4 for giving me the opportunity to serve you, and I hope you will allow me to continue the work I believe will help our children and our community by voting for Leslie Want at McDonough School on Tuesday, November 2nd. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Ken Tassi, and I'm a Ward 6 candidate for Manchester's Board of School Committee. I've been a Manchester resident for over 20 years, and I've lived in Ward 6 for about 12. I'm married, my wife and I have 3 young adult children, and next month we'll be celebrating our 34th wedding anniversary. Our amazing kids are past college, employed in different interesting fields, and busy following their dreams. And I'd like to point out that started right here in Manchester, where they attended K-12 and graduated out of Central. Before settling in Manchester, I'd lived and worked in different parts of the country and taught English for a few years in South Korea. I've spent years of service as a volunteer for both faith-based and secular projects, and I've started and managed companies, one that was based right here in Manchester for 6 years. I was raised in a working-class family, and from age 12, I grew up in a quite poor but loving single-parent home. My life experience allows me to understand most complexities of school life. I feel that I can empathize with an increasingly culturally and economically diverse student body.
I can listen well to teachers' concerns, and I can work with Manchester's taxpayers who pay the bills. While recently knocking on doors for my campaign, I met too many parents who had pulled their children out of Manchester's public schools. I care very much about the future of our kids, and I believe that the school board is where I can make a positive impact. I'd like to contribute to an improved school district that attracts families to our city, and one that students and their families can brag about. I support a stronger emphasis on academic fundamentals. Manchester should be leading the state in math, reading, science, and technology. I do not support the school district becoming its own taxing authority. I believe it would eliminate the opportunity for citywide debate, and it would destroy any semblance of checks and balances. On safety, I'd like to explore policy that will give students, parents, teachers, and school staff the peace of mind that they are safe at school and on our buses. I support the tax cap, and I do not support spending more than inbound revenues. I'd like to see proactive transparency regarding class material, rather than parents being blindsided at the dinner table. I support in-class learning. I think we should avoid remote classes except in a state of emergency. If you'd like to start some dialogue, please text or call me at 978-886-0421 or email me at kentassyward6@gmail.com. I hope you'll consider voting for me on November 2nd for Ward 6 Board of School Committee member. Come exercise your sacred right to vote at McLaughlin Middle School from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you haven't registered yet, you can register at the polling location on Election Day. Hope to see you there, and thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Brian Cole, and I'm running for school board in Ward 7. I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, November 2nd at St. Anthony's. A little background on myself. I've owned a home in our ward for over 20 years. I have college degrees in economics, finance, and accounting from Southern Hampshire University. I own and operate a business here in the city and have over 25 years management experience. If elected, I intend to deal with the top issues facing our school district. First, I think masks should be voluntary, not mandatory. I've talked to many parents in our ward, and the overwhelming response is they don't want it, and they don't want their children to be forced to wear them. The teachers are also against it because it negatively affects the learning process. Second, children belong in school. No more remote learning. Last year was a disaster for our children's education. The entire situation was handled poorly. Most of the children lost an entire year of education. It also puts a burden on so many families that will take years for them to recover from it. Third, I'll use my financial and accounting skills to get the most out of the school budget. I'll make sure that every dollar is spent wisely. This includes voting against a $250 million bond for a new school. There's no need for a new high school, and the taxpayers can't afford it. I'll investigate reusing Hallsville School with state funds as not to put an additional tax burden on the residents of Manchester. There are state programs in place that we're not taking advantage of in this school district, and that needs a change. Fourth, I will visit each school in the district, and I will meet with each administration. I will tour each facility to find out what the immediate needs are and address them on an individual basis. Fifth, the most important thing that I'll do as a school board member will be to create a strategic plan that concentrates on core education and learning fundamentals. I will help the school district define clear and attainable goals. Our teacher staff will finally have a clear vision of the future and how direction and how to get there. As a business owner, I see firsthand on how Manchester is not preparing our students for the workforce and life. The Manchester School District is currently ranked 152 out of 158 in districts. We are at the bottom when we should be at the top. When only 15% of your graduating class is proficient in reading, writing, and math, this is unacceptable. This is a policy issue, not a budget issue. It's time that someone steps forward and reverses the course, and that's what this plan will do. To the students in the school district, we will make the necessary changes that will allow you to reach your full potential. We will do our best to get you ready for life and give you the best opportunity to succeed in today's world. If you'd like to know more about me, you can visit me at my website, www.briandcole.com, or call me at 670-8045. Again, my name is Brian Cole, and I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, November 2nd. Take care, and I look forward to talking to you as I walk the ward when I see you at the polls.
My name is Chris Potter. I'm 22 years old from Arlington, Massachusetts, and I serve because it's a duty and honor to help my neighbors in need. I spoke these words almost 10 years ago, soon after I moved to Manchester to do a year of service in City Year, New Hampshire. I worked at Beach Street School and loved it so much that I joined the staff and managed City Year teams at Parker Varney for 4 more years. I trained City Year's core members to give quality instruction, make sure we hit our goals of getting students back up to grade level, and partnered directly with teachers and principals. What impacted me the most was meeting many kids who lack resources at home. Many suffer from poverty. Many have no one to help them with homework. I'm deeply concerned about their future because our schools lack the resources to put them on a path to successful lives. For example, Parker Varney had over 20 homeless students, but only 1 underpaid social worker. She was fantastic, but she left for a district where she'd be better compensated and better supported. Another problem was a lack of paraprofessionals and substitute teachers. Because we pay too little to hire enough subs, when teachers were absent, classes would be split up and added to the other classes in the grade, sometimes putting 50 students with 1 teacher. For a student facing challenges at home and below proficiency, how can they get caught up in those conditions? I'm running for school board to make sure those kids, my former students, have a shot at productive, fulfilling lives. If you vote for me, I'll make sure our district fills vacancies for paras and substitute teachers and hires additional social workers. I'll seek to use the space in our schools to provide wraparound services and engage families at the school building. I'll promote modern, competency-based education to prepare students for 21st century jobs. And I'll promote the Manchester School of Technology and expand it if possible, all for the purpose of preparing our kids for stable, happy, successful lives. If we want Manchester to be a city that's clean, safe, vibrant, and prosperous, it starts today with how we support our kids. I know those students, and I'm eager to work to make sure every single one grows into a successful Manchester citizen. That's why I humbly ask for your vote on November 2nd and say now, I'm Chris Potter, I'm 31 years old from Manchester, New Hampshire, and I serve because every student deserves an opportunity to live a fulfilling, productive life.
Hi, I'm Ben Dion, and I'm running for Board of School Committee representing Ward 9. I'm a lifelong Manchester resident, a former social studies teacher at Manchester Memorial High School, the husband to a kindergarten teacher in the district, and the father of a future Manchester School District student. I was appointed to the school board a few months ago by Alderman Shaw and decided to run for the seat in order to continue helping our district move forward. As a former teacher, I believe I bring a unique perspective to the board that can really guide the district towards providing the best quality education for our students. I will always put the students first when making decisions that affect them and make sure they have every opportunity to succeed. I believe it is very important to work collaboratively with the district in order to improve our schools and always keep an open mind when listening to new ideas. We need to work together as a community so that our students and future students, like my son, have every opportunity to succeed and work towards their goals in life. Please feel free to contact me with any questions about my campaign by emailing bendionh@gmail.com or visit my Facebook page by searching Ben Dion School Board, Ward 9. I appreciate your time, and I ask for your vote on November 2nd for Board of School Committee in Ward 9. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gary Hamer, and I'm a candidate for school board in Ward 10. I would first like to thank the voters in the primary who voted for me on September 21st. I was humbled and honored to receive your vote, but the work continues as the vote that will count will be the vote on November 2nd. I am a lifetime resident of Ward 10. I attended Manchester Public Schools. I'm a graduate of Southern New Hampshire University, where I earned a bachelor's degree in business. I am married to Heidi Hamer, who currently serves as your state representative for Ward 10. I am currently a member of the Manchester Water Commission Board. I've worked in the private sector my entire life, Working in the operations management field for more than 30 years, I have held various managerial positions in insurance operations and customer service. I want to bring this experience to the school board. When elected to the school board, these will be some of my top priorities. Spending tax dollars responsibly. This includes transparency in the budget process. The budget should be presented to taxpayers, parents, and teachers in a clear and understandable manner. On the campaign trail, I heard from voters in Ward 10 that they want to better understand how tax dollars in the district are being spent. This would also include transparency from the administration as issues arise. I heard during door knocking in Ward 10 a lot of disappointment around the 1,600 Chromebooks that were never returned following the conclusion of remote learning. How could this happen? Ensuring all COVID-19 relief funds earmarked to the district are spent wisely and in areas that will improve outcomes for our students. The areas identified need to have clear and measurable goals that the administration can report out to the school board and the community. The school district will be receiving $94 million over the next 3 years in COVID relief funds. It will provide us a tremendous opportunity to make improvements and progress towards making the school district one of the best in the state. There is no reason why there should be classrooms in some schools across the city with more than 25 students. I've been invested in the Manchester community all of my life. I'm asking the voters of Ward 10 to provide me the opportunity to serve as their representative on the school board. I will be responsible and accountable to the voters. I will be responsive to any and all concerns. Please remember, local elections are the most important. They impact your daily life and that of your neighbors. Please vote. Ward 10, I ask for your vote on November 2nd at Parker Varney School. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. My name is Gary Hamer.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos Gonzalez. I'm a 5-term state representative from Ward 12. I did represent Ward 12, 11, and 10. On this occasion, I'm seeking and I'm running for school board of Ward 12. About me, basically, I am a community organizer and I am a volunteer. For overall of 20 years or so, I have been involved in a volunteer basis, basically helping the city of Manchester. My education is from the University of New Hampshire, from Harvard University, the School of Business and Leadership and Politics in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and Dartmouth College with a specialty in Spanish, basically because I am a bilingual teacher. I have worked for the Franklin Pierce College, now Franklin Pierce University, and I have worked for the Manchester Community College. And also in the capacity, I have worked here in Manchester for Mount St. Mary Academy, and in the past for Sunapee High School, as well as Morton Borough Academy up north. I am basically running for school board with these core values: fairness, integrity, honesty, and accountability. But my focus is on the students and the teachers. I wholeheartedly support the students because we want to produce the best quality student. I want to support the teachers because they deserve the best treatment and fair budget when it comes to being responsible teachers. Without the teachers, we are in trouble. You know, we had to have the teachers being well-trained and also to produce the best students with the best quality in Manchester. Manchester, we speak 76 languages at this point. It's an immigration destination. And basically, as immigration destination, I want to support all of the above disadvantaged population, including the Hispanic, which are the second largest population. Being bilingual, speaking English and Spanish, I will do my best to support them all. In the November election, please vote for Carlos Gonzalez for school board in Ward 12. Vote Carlos Gonzalez for school board in Ward 12. I seek your vote. God bless you, God bless Manchester, and God bless New Hampshire.